Half is Yuan here, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys a Rex lead team that I've today actually modified, and this is the best team I feel right now to go against Emperor Palpatine's and like the rest of these compositions that you might see in the Shard. It works really well. Thrawn makes the team. I actually, if you guys didn't know, I've collabed with Cubs fan Han, and I've gained a lot of subscribers recently, so welcome guys. Thank you for subscribing, it means a lot to me. You expect videos like this where I'm going to be doing arena guides and detail and stuff like that. But yeah, so in his channel we went over the same team, but instead of Thrawn we did Wampa. It's a really good team, but the problem I'm having is opposing Thrawns will always either fracture you or go first, which I don't like. So to remedy that, I made Thrawn super fast. He's really fast, Godspeed fast, and he's faster than most of my Shard mates, and this is what makes the team work. So let's get started. One by one I'm going to be talking about mods, speeds, and how to play each tune. So let's get started. Alright, first tune is Rex himself. You obviously want to run him as lead because he gives 20% to himself for max health and half of that amount to allies. Same thing with turn meter. When they're critically hit, he's really good as leader, so you definitely want to run him because it's not faction based. Everyone gains this. So and then his basic is really good. You always want to abuse his basic. Also 25% turn meter removal is no joke. It's actually really good, as you guys will see in the gameplay. You always want to use his third move when your opposing tunes are really low health. That will for sure take them out. That's the only time you want to use this third move. You always want to use the basic turn move, turn meter. And then squad discipline, everyone should know what this does. Dispels all negative status effects, gauge tenacity up. This basically renders Emperor Palpatine's useless, which is really awesome. Yeah, so, and you want to have him at gear 12 obviously, and you want to have a health pack and a multi-tool because he's really you know, really low health and he dies really fast. And you do want to have those gear 12s to make him more survivable. Speed wise, you want to have him with 250s. That's it. You don't have to have him much faster. I would recommend with 250s. You could have him a little bit slower. That's totally fine if you guys don't have that speeds. In terms of mods, you do want to have a speed set, either like a health set. Also, going with speeds, I have tenacity here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Rex. He's really good. Let's move on to the next one. So next up is Sion. Sion is really good in this build because his torment is amazing. Deal physical damage to all enemies and then dispel all buffs on them. That's amazing. Against raid teams, their R2 is really fast. Stealth, no problem. Darth Sion's just going to clear that up right away. So it's really good. Held by Hatred is also amazing. It's going to keep reviving like Night Sister Zombie, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so I'm not going to go into this kit too much in detail because you guys should already know how Darth Sion works. Also, he's usable at 3 stars, so don't be disheartened if you don't have him at 7 stars. This is completely free to play, friendly team as well. You don't have to have his stars, as he does torment the exact same as he would do in any star level. For Zeta, Lord of Pain, you really do want to Zeta his Zeta because you're going to be taunting a lot more when you apply pain and they damage him, and it's just going to be a cycle of him taunting, which is really good. So you do want to have that Zeta. I don't know if I think it's required. That's my opinion though, but you guys can try it without the Zeta and see how it goes. And for mods, you want to have either an offense set or a critical damage set, and anything else, preferably tenacity set. Or not tenacity, a potency set, my bad. You do want to have a potency cross and a protection triangle if you have speeds for it. And a protection circle because this is a tank. You want to have as much protection as possible in him. And for speeds, I'm going really fast. I think you need to have him really fast. At 240s or up. If you guys don't have this kind of god speeds, you could have them slower, but I find a lot harder to have them slow. But yeah, you want to have them critical damage or offense set. So that's going to be pretty much it for Sion. So let's move on to Nihilus. Alright, so moving along to Nihilus, you want to have Nihilus paired up with Sion because they have a really cool interaction. So for Nihilus, whenever Sion or Traya are inflicted with a debuff, Nihilus gains 10% turn meter and 30% max health, stacking until the end of the encounter. This is huge because when their Darth Vaders go first, which is going to happen all the time, if Sion gets debuffed, your Nihilus should go straight up right after, and if you get a bunch of cooldowns, it's really easy from there. Yeah, and you could throw tenacity up if their Sion is on a cooldown, so it's really cool interaction. You do want to have a Zeta, definitely. I would not run Nihilus without a Zeta right now. He inflicts more debuffs, health downs, and it's really beneficial with Drain Forest because it doubles the chance to get a cooldown. And eventually you want to obviously use Annihilate, which is why the Nightmare teams exist, because of Annihilate. Annihilate is really good. You could use up to 2 times sometimes in the Nightmare teams. Yeah, so that's the whole point of Nihilus. It's like a ticking bomb, honestly, if you put Nihilus in, and I think it's going to hold on defense. I have not tested this team on defense yet, which I will. But I think it's going to hold pretty well, honestly, because Sion and Darth Nihilus are just like the meta right now. So speed-wise, we have, you want to have them run really fast as much as possible, even faster than your shard mates Nihiluses. But if you don't have the speeds for that, it's fine. You could have them slow, preferably 220s or up, or like where you want Nihilus to be. And in terms of mods, you want to have a speed set and a potency set with a potency cross and a protection triangle, so he survives longer. So that's it for Nihilus. Alright, so the fourth tune that is up is Thrawn. Thrawn basically actually makes the team. Like I said, I ran Wampa instead of Thrawn. It did okay, but I was kind of struggling a little bit. It's a good team still. If you guys want to run that kind of variation, go ahead. It's really fun. But Thrawn actually makes this team because his protection gain, swap turn meters with anyone you want, protection gain, like I said, fracture is really good, and his basic really good, which can potentially stun when like enemies are ability blocked, which is amazing. He's a really good support character, and you want to have him super fast. My Thrawn is 280. I put the fastest speed sets on him as much as possible. If you guys don't have my speeds, don't worry about it. Just get him as fast as humanly possible with what you have. It's gonna work still. You might struggle against opposing teams that they're a lot faster than you, but my Thrawn is basically one of the fastest Thrawns. There's another Thrawn in my shard that is almost the same speed as mine, I believe. You want to have a critical damage triangle because his basic does actually a lot of damage on it. Outputs a lot of damage with the gear 12 pieces. And yeah, I have offense sets because I have the fastest speeds on it. That's why. And you want to have a speed set to make that fast. For Zetas, you don't need his leadership ability, obviously. You do want to have his unique. It really helps a lot, but it's not required for this team. So that's it for Thrawn. Just remember to make him super fast. All right, last on the team is GK himself. Self-explanatory. I hope everyone knows what GK does. Pretty sure everyone does. I'm not gonna go into his kit. It's really good. Really the best tank in the game. The only problem I have is he gives crit immunity and under Rex lead. That just kind of contradicts Rex's lead of getting critically hit and getting turn meter. But I just found GK is like a lot better. I tried KRU or Kylo Ren on Mast. He died a lot on me. And yeah, I wasn't a big fan. So his cleanse is amazing. His lead of the charge when everyone attacks, when they're buffed, is amazing. He gives crit immunity sometimes is good under on this team also, so your Rex doesn't die and stuff like that. In terms of speeds, this is really good for you guys who don't have good speed mods. You want to have them really tanky. Mine goes at 200. It doesn't really matter what speed it goes. You could have it at 190s, that's totally fine. The biggest thing you want to make sure you have is a lot of protection, max protection if possible, which I have 33,000 almost, or at 33,000, and I have 95,000 protection. That is crazy. And you want to have the arrow at protection, the triangle at protection, the cross at protection, the circle at protection, and you want to have the speed set, I guess. Yeah, you could even go ahead and do a full health set. That's totally fine also. And I have 1 health set. And notice how I have a bunch of protection secondaries. You also want to have that as well, to boost that protection, because he's going to be targeted a lot, as you guys will see, and it's just beneficial for him to stay in the battle as long as possible. So that's it for the in detail of how each toon works, and let's get into some of the gameplays. Alright, so in this team, as you guys can see, this Vader opens up first. My Nihilus goes right after, gets all cooldowns, which is really amazing. This is a good game from there. So I'm deciding whether I should swap Turn Meter or Fracture. So I'm going to swap Turn Meter with Sion, I believe. Yes, I'm actually debating here, thinking what should I do. So I actually give Sion Turn Meter. We want to put debuffs on all your opposing toons. And so because the second Force Drain is going to guarantee more cooldowns, hopefully, and you want to gun down Nihilus as soon as possible. Nihilus is the only problematic toon, so we're going to go Kamikaze with GK, and Nihilus is out of the picture. From here, it should be easy game, because you have tenacity up. Emperor Palpatine's stuns are not going to stun anything, and now I could use Fracture on Sion, because Sion's pretty much the problematic toon, and he's a tank. Now they have no tanks. Now I'm going to use Rex's basic to slow down Thrawn, so he doesn't fracture me, but I do mess up in this gameplay and he does fracture my Sion, I believe, as you guys will see, but it doesn't really matter. From here it's really easy. I'm trying to get rid of Thrawn, so I go ahead and annihilate Sion because Sion's really annoying, and yeah, I should have just removed Turn Meter with the basic, but instead I didn't do that, and Thrawn managed to fracture my Sion, which is totally fine. This is over. I mean, they barely made a dent in my team, and I'm already ahead, and you know, this team is goners. So that's how you basically play. You want to always gun down Nihilus. Palpatine is basically useless when you have tenacity up. Remember that, because most people try going after Emperor Palpatine. Do not do that. Go after Nihilus, and you guys are gonna have much improvement in climbing in your arena shards. This is pretty much easy game from here. That's it. That's how you want to do this. With Thrawn, you always want to swap Turn Meter first to Sion or Nihilus, depending if you get Force Drain or not in the beginning. Yeah, it's just easy game from there. GK is amazing with this Kamikaze attack. I just love GK. And yeah, that's it. Let's move on to the next gameplay. Alright, so for this team, this person does not actually have Sion in this team. He did not spend money on him. But he's using a pretty good, well-modded team, really fast. He's one of the fastest. He's faster than me in speed. And you guys can see his Nihilus went first, so that's kind of a disadvantage. But it's not over, because you're gonna still win. Don't be discouraged if their Nihilus goes first before yours. It doesn't matter, and you guys will see. He has much faster speeds than me, and he barely makes a dent. Palpatine is basically useless, and he didn't stun me. And we're going ahead and starting our train with our Nihilus and getting a bunch of cooldowns. Same plan. You want, again, using every toon, like I said in the previous battle. You want to gun down Nihilus. In this case, they have Sith Troopers. Sith Troopers is really annoying, so I am gonna go I think I'm gonna swap Turn Meter first with Sion, yes, and then inflict bunch of debuffs and remove Turn Meter from Nihilus. You always want to remove Turn Meter from Nihilus with basic from Rex. Now I'm going to go ahead and fracture Sith Troopers, because Sith Troopers is really annoying when he taunts. So he has no tank at this point, and we just need to gun down Nihilus. Once we do that, this game is easy. Yeah, so we're looking good. Now we're just gonna, you know, slowly gun down Nihilus. Yeah, remove Turn Meter with basic, and hopefully get another drain for us. Okay, so we got held by hatred, since they did a bunch of debuffs on Sion. And I also forgot to mention the interaction with Sion and Nihilus is whenever Nihilus gets critically hit, his held by hatred gets reduced by 1, so you can activate much faster. And with Sion, we took out Palpatine in 1 hit, and we annihilated Darth Vader, and boom, it's easy game from there. And he has much faster speeds than me, and I usually struggle with my own Nightmare team against him. It's like RNG basically, but with this team it's just boom, and barely, like, he made kind of like a little bit dent. My Nihilus protection is almost gone, but we regenerated that protection and it's game over. It's just amazing. It doesn't matter what speed, how much faster their EP teams are, you're still gonna win, and it's just amazing. This is why I love this team. Try it out, guys, and let's move on to the next gameplay against Jedi Training Rey for you guys to see. Alright, so this last game is against Jedi Training Rey. This Jedi Training in particular, it's really hard because he has a CLS in there too. So, like, with Rex lead, it's actually a lot harder to face Jedi Training Rey because they hit really hard. This is where GK comes in. He's going to take a lot of hits. Usually people say Fracture Rey, but I go in and Fracture GK because GK is really annoying when he taunts. Now I have full lane. I could go anywhere, like, I guess anything I want. And I go Kamikaze and Luke. I want to take care of Luke first. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have won for Rey. I'm not sure. But I do still manage to win. And yeah, so like Luke is pretty much and Rey are really heavy hitters. I usually struggle with my Nightmare team against this team, and I have this exact same team gameplay for my last video when I did a showcase about my Nightmare team. But same principle with how to use every single character in your team. You want to swap Terminator using Thrawn on Nihilus. I mean, not Nihilus, on Sion. And preferably, hopefully, their R2 goes stealth before Sion goes, and you can just dispel all of that, which I think happens in this gameplay. Again, I fractured GK again because he was really annoying. Now we got rid of CLS, and CLS is, goners. Now it's pretty easy from there. Rey's, and we're gonna be able to annihilate Rey pretty soon, and it should be really game over from there. We took some significant hits, but not too much. We're still, have a significant amount of protection. Rey is gone. We annihilated her. GK is pretty much almost dead, which is unfortunate. And you guys saw how much protection I have. He took a lot of hits, and you wanna have a lot of protection on him against Rey's especially. Yeah, so it's easy game from there. Hopefully get protection back to GK. Yep, and that's what exactly we're gonna do. We're gonna get retribution to everybody. Tenacity up. Let's go and fracture GK again, and then we're gonna kamikaze on R2, and it's basically game from there. BB-8 is gonna be pretty annoying. It doesn't matter what you annihilate first, BB-8 or Rey. I usually go for Rey. Some people go BB-8. It's a preference, I guess. I find Rey more annoying than BB-8. But yeah, that's it, guys. Hopefully this guide helped you. Try it out. I'm having a lot of fun and a lot of success. Make sure to mod correctly and, try it out. And let me know in the comments below if you like this team and how it works for you on defense. So, thank you for watching, guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.